Hello and welcome. We're looking at high-speed spell checking today, and it will be the SpellAlyse macro, which actually has been around for over a year now, but I suddenly realised we hadn't got a video. And in any case, it's now more powerful, so we want to demonstrate it. It actually replaces two earlier macros, spelling error lister and spelling error highlighter. So what does it do? Well, the first step, basic step, is to create a spelling error list. However, it's useful in that you can give it an exceptions list. In other words, a list of words that you don't want it to throw up as spelling errors, so it will ignore them. For me, that would be technical words, but if you're doing fiction, it might be character or place names, or other applications perhaps. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see it operate. So first of all, we want the little box that we use to show the macros being used. Then here's our document to be edited. So first we want to SpellAlyse it. So we run the macro and it says, do you want the UK dictionary? Yep, that's fine, thank you. And it goes through and generates a spelling error list. And in the status bar at the bottom, you can see it's picking up words there and reporting them as errors. And then it generates our list. So we've got, in the first section, we've got words that don't have initial capital, and the second list is those that do, which might be quite useful to have them separate so that the first part is the one where most of the errors will be. Okay, let's put it to one side. We've also got a frequency list, which can be useful sometimes if you want to know how often one of the error words occurs. Okay, so what do we do next? Okay, the second step then is to check each item in this list that we've got here. There are three possibilities. It could actually be a spelling error, as Microsoft is reporting, or it could be an exception. It could be a word that we want to keep, or it might be something that we're not sure, and therefore we want to bring it to our attention while we're doing the edit. So if it is a spelling error, then we can use a macro called spelling suggest, which you'll see in a second. If it's an exception, then we leave it unmarked in that list that you can see there. And if we're not sure, then we add a font color or a highlight color so that we can have it brought to our attention while we're actually doing the edit, and we can make changes if necessary. Okay, so now so when we've marked them all up, we run the list, SpellAlyse on the list, and it will create first of all a Fredit list, and that's going to be used to make the changes within the file or files if it's a book of several chapters, and or to color the things that we want as queries, and it will generate an exceptions list from our spelling error list, and those will be useful when we come to do a retest at the end of the edit. Okay, so let's demonstrate this. So here's our list, and we want to decide whether each is a spelling error or not. First one is not, because that's not one of my websites. Then the second one, yes, that's an error, So we keep running. No, contravariational, that's a perfectly good word. Different, keyboard, learn, I'm not sure about that, so why don't we give it a color? These ones are alright, because that's my email, Paul. Paul, there is another one with an error. These other ones are okay. And with some of these we might think, well actually I'm not sure about that one, so what I'll do is I'll make a copy of that and colour it, perhaps in a different colour, and maybe that one, say, well okay, I'm not sure about that, but I think it's probably an exception, so we add it to the exceptions list. So let's put a colour on that one. Okay, so there's the we've made our three decisions on the different words, and we're ready to create the spelling error list and the exceptions list and the Fredit list. So we run SpellAlyse on the list. It says, do you want to create exceptions and Fredit lists? Yes please. Okay, so it generates the Fredit list there, and that's ready to use. We've got the exceptions list, that's fine, so we don't need to see that really, so I might as well put it to one side. That's the original spelling error list, so we can move that one over as well. Right, so we need our document to make the edits on. Here it comes, there we go. So we're ready to run Fredit to make the changes on our Fredit list. So off we go with Fredit. And there we go, it's done its job. Okay, it's highlighted the book there. What else has it done? There's our learn. So we want to put the A in there to correct that spelling. It really was a spelling error. And of course, while you're editing, you type in extra words and you might misspell them. Or for some reason or other, a letter might get knocked out somewhere and create another spelling error, a new spelling error. Okay, so we've done our edit, edited the whole thing, and we want to run SpellAlyse again to do our checking. But of course we have to make sure that we've got our exceptions list open. That file must be open and ready for the macro to see. So we click in the document and we run SpellAlyse. Yes, we want UK, and away we go. Checks the whole thing. Takes a little while because it has to keep checking the exceptions list in this case. And what has it found? At the end of the day, it's found two spelling errors, misspell and satisfying. So you can see how quick that final recheck is, as opposed to going back to the original document and running Word's own spell checker on it. So yeah, that's it really. I hope that is going to be helpful to you. And if you've got any questions or queries, we missed all this. What's all this lot? Oh yes, we do the edits, and at the end we open the exceptions list and run SpellAlyse, and it shows only the extras. We've done all that. Okay, so if you're using macros and have any problems, ideas or suggestions, do get in touch with me. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye now.